Good morning, students. Welcome back to computer science class with smart codings. Today's topic is based on linear search. Today we'll be learning about linear search. So let's start. Basically, in array there are two types of operations, that is searching and sorting. These are the two main basic operations of array, that is searching and sorting, as you can see in the screen. Now, searching is a process to find or search an element from an array list. As you can see, I'm highlighting with the cursor that A is an array over here having 5 elements. Now I have marked this 30 with a red color, means I need to search 30, for example, suppose. Okay, from an array list I need to find 30 element 30. So this is what is called searching. It is a process to find or search an element from an array list or from a given array list. So what are the two operations of this search array, that is searching and sorting. I hope this is clear. This is very fundamentals, very initial of very basics of array, right? Now let's move on to the next slide. Now few points regarding linear search. Now searching are of two types, basically linear search and binary search. We'll be covering in this video tutorial linear search. So linear search is a technique in which element to be searched is compared with each element adjacent elements of an array. Okay, I mean to say is, for example, suppose I want to search 30. Now 30 will be checked with all the elements of an array. Adjacent means an element next to it. 30 will be checked with 10, 30 will be checked with 20, and it will be checked with itself also. If the match found, then the index will be returned. So I'll be demonstrating you the working principle and the programming in the later part of the video. So students, this is what is a linear search. That means each element is checked with the element to be found or element to be searched. Linear search is also called a sequential search. Keep in mind one more point about linear search. In this type of searching, array list need not to be in sorted order. Sorted means either in ascending or descending order, not required. Array list need not to be in sorted order. Keep in mind, it is convenient for less number of elements in an array list. This is the more important point, because if the array list is very big, suppose 100 elements, an element to be searched is 50, then 50 to be searched will be checked with all the elements of an array, all 100 elements, which is not convenient because it takes more time. That's why it is a slow process, as because element to be searched is checked with all the elements of an array list. So this is few points regarding linear search, as you can see, students. Now linear search, these are points, keep in mind. It is also called sequential search. It is a technique where each element to be where an element to be searched is checked with each element of an array list. Okay, it is it is not convenient for a big array list. It is a slow process because an element to be searched is checked with all the elements of an array. It is also called sequential search. An array list need not to be in sorted order. These are the basic few points regarding linear search. Now let's move on to the next topic. Now this is what is the working principle. I will demonstrate you how it works. Now suppose there are 5 elements in an array called A over here. Now we have to search here, suppose 40. So it is of different color, suppose 40. Now these 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 are the elements of an array, or the values of an array, and 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 are the index of an array. Okay, now 40 to be searched is checked with each element of an array. It is compared with each element of an array. That is 10 equal to 40. No, not matching. So it's crossed here. Again, in the next iteration of the for loop, it will check with 20. The next element is 20. 20 equal to 40, no match found. 30 equal to 40, no. And finally, for it matches with 40, so it is ticked over here. That means a match is found at index number 3. So once the match is found, the index of this cell number of this element will be returned. So this is how it works. That means if the array list is big, 100 elements are there, so that 40 will be checked with all the 100 elements, which is time consuming, right? So to solve this problem, binary search technique is used, which we'll be covering in the next video tutorial. Next is algorithms. We have to traverse the loop first using a array list, using a for loop. Traverse the array using a for loop first. That means we have to go through the array list, access the array list using for loop, and in every iterations compare the target value, that means the element to be searched, with current value of an array list. Suppose we have to search here. Let me show you the graphical. 40, the target value is 40 and the current value is suppose 10. So 10 will be checked with 40, no match found. Again, next iteration, then the current value will be 20, it will be checked with 40, no match found. Again, in the next iteration, the current value will be 30, it will be checked with target value 40, no match found. And finally, when the target value and the current value matches, it will return the index number, that is 3, right? So this is what is, if the value matches, return the current index of an array. If the value does not match, move on to the next array element. And if no match found, return -1. -1 indicates as a false, that it does not have that element in an array list. So this is what is the algorithm. First we will traverse the array using for loop. Then we have to make a comparison with the current value and the target value. If the match is found, return the current index of an array. Okay, and if the value does not match, move on to the next array element. And if no match found, return -1. So we'll be demonstrating this with the programming in a BlueJ editor. Students, I request you to watch this video completely. Then you will understanding the linear search technique based on the ICC board syllabus and for the beginners. Okay, if any doubt is there, any difficulty understanding, because there might be some questions in your mind which you should ask me with smart codings in the YouTube comment sections. We'll be clearing your doubts. So if this video is really useful, please do like and subscribe. Ask your doubts, comment it, like it, and share it as much as possible. Those who want to learn Java to connect with smart codings. So let's code it from scratch now with the practical demonstrations. So let's go to the BlueJ over here. Let's create a new class, linear search. Right. So this is what is a linear search I've created. Now we have double clicked to open that. Now we'll delete all these things. At first, let us keep this documentation section as it is. Let us import a class called import java.util.scanner for scanner class I will be using in this program. Just learn how to write this code of linear search. Right. Now in this we have to write a main method, that is public static void main string args, as the syntax goes in Java main method. Right. Now inside this main method, I'm declaring two variables. Suppose one for I, for loop I, and one to store the element to be searched in a variable called s. So this is what is a variable declaration. Variable declaration. I hope this is clear. This much is clear. So package is imported first, class name written, main method, then the variable declaration done. Now we'll create an array. Suppose a, int a equal to new int. Suppose let me give here 5, because at the time of creation, as you know students, I've told you in the earlier video that creating array needs a new operator and size is mandatory. Array creation this is. Now next is, I'm taking a flag variable to indicate that search is not yet started and the element is not found here. So boolean flag, let us initialize with false value. False indicates search is not yet started and the element is not found yet. If the element is found, then later on we will make the flag values true. Okay, so this is what is flag value, indicating bit. Flag is indicating bit over here. Now let us create a scanner class, scanner sc equal to new scanner class, system.in because by default we are taking the input from keyboard. That's why system.in. Okay, now let us print a message to the user to take the input, enter elements in an array, or enter 5 elements. Suppose enter 5 elements. Just a minute, students. Enter 5 elements in an, sorry, my cursor is in the different directions, in an array. Okay, so once this is done, this is a message to the user. Then we will write a loop over here. I equal to 0, start as array index start from 0. Let us start from 0 here. You can start from 1 also. In loop we can start from 1 also. Accordingly you have to change the value. I less than 5 means 0 to 4, that is 5 element it will take. I plus plus. I hope this part is clear. That means same type of operations we are going to do 5 times. What is the operations? We have to insert value to an array. We can do it manually 5 times. Instead of doing manually, we are using for loop. Okay, now inside this we'll start a body of the loop. Now a of I, that is the array name a, and in this I value we are accessing the array and storing that at particular position. Now we are storing the value. There's the integer array sc.nextInt. I hope this is clear. Now close this for loop body. Now again we will copy this and modify a little bit, because we need to display another message to the user in the screen. Enter the element to be searched. We will write here enter the element to be searched. Enter the element to be searched. Right. That means that element to be searched we will store in a variable called s. So s equal to sc dot nextInt. S equal to sc dot nextInt. As you know, students, nextInt is a non-static method. We need to access it using an object of scanner class. So that's why sc dot nextInt. This much is clear. Now we need to make comparisons. That element to be searched, suppose it is suppose 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 is there. So 40 we need to search. That 40 is stored in variable called s, and we need to compare 40 with each element of an array. So for that again we need a loop. Right. So let us copy this loop. Control C. Sometimes copying in the program is what is called as a smart work, instead of writing every time or typing every time. So learn it how to quickly code it. Sometimes this is what is called smart work with smart codings. Now with this loop we will be comparing the logic here. The main logic is here. If a of I, each element of the array stored in a of I, equal to s, the element to be searched is stored in variable called s. Right. Now if this is found over here, now we'll write what? Now we'll copy again this one and we'll modify. And we'll modify this one. Element is found at element is found at index. We'll write over index. Right. So element is found at index. We'll give here plus I. This I will return the index number. So we're writing this. Okay. Now finally, once the match is found over here, we'll make the flag value as true. Flag equals to true. Then we'll close this. We'll stop the search by using break statement. No need to search anymore if the element is found over here. Close this if block and close this for loop block. Right. So these two brackets are open. These two brackets are closed. Now one more logic we will write if the element is not found. So what to be done? If flag remains false only initially as it was. If flag equals to now, true, flag equals to false, will indicate to the user element not found. We'll copy this and modify the statement over here. Element is not found, or better to write element not found in the array list. Just let me delete this one, this part. Element not found in the array list. Right. So this is the message to the user. If the flag value remains false, close this if block, then close the main method, close the class. Compile this. Some error might be there. Scanner class. Okay, there will be scanner S capital will be there. Compile this now. No syntax error. Let us show you students. Right click on this void main, this one. Now maximize this console. Enter 5 elements. Suppose 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. Right. Now suppose we want to search 40. That is an index number. This is 0, 1, 2, and 3 at third index. 0, 1, 2, and 3. At third index element is 40. So it should display that 40 is at index 3. Right. So let us search for 40. Element is found at index 3. Now suppose if we want to search an element which is not in the array list. Let us give once again 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. We want to search 60 over here. Element not found in the array list. I hope this is clear, students. So let us go back to the code once again. Let us see what is being done over. First, we need to import a package because we are using a scanner class. Then, as usual, the class name and the main method. We need to declare the variables as required in the program. That is I and S. I for loop and S to store the element which to be searched. We are creating the array over of size 5. Boolean flag indicates that we can take as temp equal to 0 also. We can take temp equal to 0. 0 means false and 1 means true. Or we can take this flag value also. So for my convenience, I have taken flag equal to false. We're creating a scanner class object. We are taking the input over it. This part is for input. This part enter. This part is for input, and this part is to store an element to be searched in the variable we are storing called S. Okay, in the variable S we are storing the value to be searched. Now again, this is the main logic of linear search. If A of I, that means A of I contains all the elements of an array, that all the 5 elements, and S contains the element to be searched. If it is found, we'll print the index number, that is I plus I, with this message, and we'll keep the flag value as true, and we'll stop the search. No need to search anymore. But if flag value remains false as it was earlier, that means an element not found in the array list. So this is what is the program. Accordingly, we'll close down the braces. We'll compile the code like this. I have shown you the output. So this is what is. Every program has basic 4 steps. Variable declaration done. See a variable declaration done. Then it is the input taken over here. Input taken over here. In this also we are taking the input. In this also we are taking the input. Okay. Now the calculation. This is the logic part, and finally the output over here. Every program has these basic 4 steps. Variable declarations, input, calculation, and output. Calculation means the logic part. And the logic is correct, output is definitely will come. Output is bound to come. So with this, I stop my video over here. Let us go back to the PPT. So we have done the code from scratch from beginning. Practical demonstration done. So dear students, I request you to subscribe it if you find this as useful, as you can see, and please do like and share and subscribe. Let's stop it. Thank you, students. Take care.